Good morning, children. Today you will continue chapter soil. In the previous class, you have studied soil is very important natural resource because it supports life directly or indirectly. All the animals depend on the plants for their food, and the plants grow in the soil. Soil provides water and mineral to the plants. The roots absorb water and mineral from the soil, and then this water and mineral is transported to the leaf, and it helps in photosynthesis. So plants prepare their food by using water, and soil is very important for giving water and mineral to the plants. And soil is important because plants grow in the soil. So it is one of the most important natural resources. If you see, the earth has three parts: crust, mantle and core. In the earth crust, you will see the upper part is of soil, and 75% of the earth's crust is made of silicon and oxygen. These two things are present in the earth's crust, and percentage is 75%, silica and oxygen. You have also read, children, how soil is formed. Soil is formed by weathering of rocks. Weathering means parent rock is broken down into smaller pieces, and then these smaller pieces are mixed with humus. Some living organisms are also added in it, and the soil is formed. So weathering is very important. There are two types of weathering. One is physical weathering and the other is chemical weathering. Let's know about the physical weathering. There are some agents of physical weathering. Like first one is, you can see, it is temperature. Because you know, due to variation in the temperature during the daytime, due to the sunlight, the minerals of the rocks, they expand, and during the night time, due to fall in the temperature, the minerals contract. This regular expansion and contraction of the minerals in the rocks causes weaker zones, and the rocks crack and it converts into smaller pieces. So it is temperature that causes breaking down of parent rock. Next you will see water is a agent of physical weathering. When water enters the crevices of the rocks and it freezes, and it exerts very high pressure on the rocks, and the rocks break down into smaller pieces. Next agent of physical weathering is, after water and temperature, it is air, wind. Wind is also very important, which causes breaking down of parent rock. During the storm, that is sand storm, and on the seashore, sometimes the high winds on the seashore both have very erosive and transportive action on the parent rock, due to which parent rock breaks down into smaller pieces. So sandstorm and high wind on the seashore, they cause breaking down of rocks into smaller pieces. So wind is also an agent of physical weathering. Next, you will see the plants and animals also play very important role in breaking down of parent rock, because sometimes you must have seen that algae or lichen grow on the bare rock. These algae and lichen, they also help in breaking down of rocks. Sometimes herbs like grass, shrubs like medium-sized plants and trees. The roots of these herbs, shrubs and trees, they enter the crevices of the rocks, and when these roots extend, okay, when the root system of these herbs, shrubs or trees extend, then they also apply very high pressure on the rocks, and the rocks break down into smaller pieces. So due to combined effect of physical, chemical and biological actions, the parent rock break down into smaller pieces. Okay, you have seen that the biological action, like the roots of the plants, they enter the crevices and they exert great pressure on the rocks when they grow, and they exert great pressure on the rocks, and the parent rock breaks down into smaller pieces, and it helps in the formation of soil. Now you will see all these are the agents of physical weathering. Once again I repeat, the agents of physical weathering are temperature, wind, water. Plants and animals also help in disintegration of parent rock, due to which small particles are formed which form soil. Now you will see the chemical weathering. In this chemical weathering, you will see that the organic acids are produced by the decomposition of organic matter. Okay, when the plants and animals are decomposed, dead plants and animals are decomposed, then some organic acid is produced. Children, you should know that organic acid is an acid which is obtained either from plants or from animals. You can say that organic acid is a natural acid. Okay, and this acid, so many examples are there. When you eat guava, apple, orange, lemon, all these things have acid. When the ant bites you, you have too much pain. It is also due to production of acid. So all these acids are obtained from plants and animals. They are natural acids and they are known as organic acids. So the chemical weathering takes place by the organic acids produced by the decomposition of organic matter. Now the next process of chemical weathering takes place because of water. All of you should know water is a universal solvent. Universal solvent means water has the property to dissolve solid, liquid or gas in it. All of you can see that when you add sugar or salt in water, it dissolves in water, because sugar and water is solid. So water can dissolve solid in it. It can also dissolve liquid. when you squeeze lemon juice gets mixed with water. Again, lemon juice is liquid. When you add water in the milk or milk in the water, it mixes up. So what you see, that water can dissolve liquid in it, and water can dissolve gases also in it. All of you should know that the aquatic living organisms, aquatic means the organisms that live in water. Fishes live in water, many other organisms live in water. How? They require oxygen for breathing, and oxygen is dissolved in water. Similarly, so you have seen gases are also soluble in water. Carbon dioxide is also soluble in water. And this property of water helps in the formation of soil, because this property of water, due to this property solubility, water is a universal solvent, so due to this property it dissolves many salts from the rocks, and this helps in making the process of soil formation very fast. The process of weathering becomes very fast. It hastens the process of weathering. So due to property of universal solvent, water can dissolve a number of salts from the parent rock, and it hastens the process of weathering, and it leads to the formation of soil. Now, when these soil particles roll down, they get mixed with humus, and some living organisms are also added to it, and finally it leads to the formation of soil. So formation of soil is very important, and this formation of soil takes place due to weathering. What is weathering? Weathering is a process of breaking down of parent rock into smaller particles. Now, children, you can carry out one activity to see the soil profile. Before discussion of soil profile, you should know sometimes when it rains, you feel very sweet smell. From where this sweet smell comes? We like that smell. So I am telling you, it is sweet smell. Some bacteria are present in the soil. They are present in damp and humid soil, damp and warm soil. Name of the bacteria is Actinomycetes. Bacteria is Actinomycetes, and it is found in the soil. It is found in damp and warm soil. And when it rains, the spores of these Actinomycetes bacteria come and float in the air. They come out from the soil and they float in the air, and due to this spore we have a sweet smell. जब बारिश होती है बच्चों, तो आपको बहुत अच्छी खुशबू आती है, सौंधा सौंधा, और सबों को ये अच्छा लगता है। तो ये खुशबू कहाँ से आती है? जब बारिश होती है तो वो जो रेन ड्रॉप आता है, उसकी वजह से सॉइल में जो बैक्टीरिया रहते हैं, इस बैक्टीरिया का नाम है एक्टिनोमाइसिटीज़। तो इनके स्पोर्स जो होते हैं बैक्टीरिया के, वो रेन वाटर के आने से, वो रेन वाटर के फोर्स से वो स्पोर्स बाहर निकलकर हवा में फ्लोट करने लगते हैं, और इसी स्पोर्स की वजह से हम लोगों को बहुत अच्छी खुशबू आती है। यही स्वीट स्मेल हम लोगों को आता है कहाँ से? सॉइल से। सॉइल में क्या रहता है अभी मैं बताई? बैक्टीरिया। और भी लिविंग ऑर्गेनिज्म रहते हैं, जैसे कुछ एल्गी भी होते हैं, कुछ फंगस भी होते हैं, अर्थवर्म भी रहते हैं, इंसेक्ट्स भी रहते हैं। तो ये सारे चीज़ सॉइल में होते हैं। और जब बारिश होती है तो इस बैक्टीरिया का नाम है एक्टिनोमाइसीट्स, और इनके स्पोर्स आ जाते हैं, फ्लोट करते हैं एयर में, जिसकी वजह से हमें वो स्वीट स्मेल आने लगता है। तो आप देख रहे हैं बच्चों ना कि सॉइल बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट है, क्योंकि लिविंग ऑर्गेनिज्म भी इसमें रहते हैं। ठीक है, अब आप देखिएगा व्हाट इज सॉइल प्रोफाइल। इफ यू गेट द चांस टू विजिट अ पिट, गड्ढा जिसमें मिट्टी खोदा हुआ है, वेयर द सॉइल इज डग, और इफ यू go to construction site, you can see the soil is dug, and when you look at this when you look at this soil, you will see there are many layers in it. Okay, these layers are called soil horizon, and the arrangement of different layers in the soil is called soil profile. Okay, so what is soil horizon? All of you have followed. When you get the chance to see dug out soil near any construction place, you will see, or when you see the dug out soil in a pit, you will see the soils are different in different layers. How can you say they are different? They have different texture, they have different color. So the soil is arranged in different layers, and each layer is called soil horizon, and the arrangement of these layers is called soil profile. सॉइल का अरेंजमेंट, जब आप कहीं कंस्ट्रक्शन साइट पे जाते हैं तो देखते हैं मिट्टी खोदा हुआ, और जब आप देखिएगा तो नीचे तक तो देखिएगा सारे लेयर का सॉइल का कलर अलग है। और ये क्यों अलग है? क्योंकि ये अलग अलग लेयर्स हैं सॉइल के, सब में अलग अलग प्रॉपर्टी है। किसी में ह्यूमस ज़्यादा है, किसी में मिनरल्स ज़्यादा है, किसी में मिनरल्स कम है। तो इसी वजह से हर लेयर का अलग अलग कलर है। तो हर लेयर को हम क्या कहते हैं? सॉइल होराइजन। और सारे लेयर का जो अरेंजमेंट होता है उसको हम लोग कहते हैं सॉइल प्रोफाइल। ठीक है, तो अभी आप देखिएगा कि सारे लेयर में जो सॉइल हैं उनका टेक्सचर अलग है, उनका कलर अलग है, उनका डेप्थ अलग है, उनका केमिकल कंपोजिशन अलग है। ये सारे वेरिएशन हैं हर लेयर में। तो अभी आप देख रहे हैं बच्चों कि सॉइल consists of different layers, and these layers are called soil horizon, and the arrangement of different layers is called soil profile. If you observe the different layers, you will see, children, that they are different in texture, different in color, different in composition, and different in depth. Okay, now let's see the layers of the soil one by one. At the top you will see it is organic matter, so it is O layer. Okay, O stands for organic substance. At the top you will see litter is there, and some organic matter like humus is there. So it is O layer. Okay, O stands for organic material. Since humus is present, litter is present, so it is called O horizon. Okay, it is rich in organic material, humus. Next layer you will see, it is A horizon, and it is also called top soil. This soil is just above the B layer, B horizon, okay, and below the O horizon. Below O horizon and above B horizon, this A horizon is present. It is also called top soil. In this soil you will see the seeds germinate and the plants grow. It is dark in color because humus is present in it, and mineral particles are also present in the soil. So this layer is also called top soil. It is dark in color due to presence of humus, and minerals are also present in this layer, and the seeds germinate in this layer and the plants grow in this layer. So you have to memorize what takes place in A horizon. It is top soil. Two important things are there. Humus is present and minerals are also present. Next thing I told you, the seeds germinate and the plants grow in this soil. It is dark. Why it is dark? Due to presence of humus and minerals. Just below this A horizon, B horizon is present. This B horizon is above C horizon and below A horizon. Okay. Now what happens in this B horizon? It is also called subsoil. A horizon is called topsoil, and in the A horizon minerals are present, and sometimes the leaching of minerals and clay take place in A horizon. Leaching means the minerals are dissolved in the water and the water drips, and when it drips, this process is called leaching. Means the water is mixed with minerals. Now this water mixed with minerals reaches the next layer, that is B horizon. In the B horizon, due to leaching of minerals, again these minerals are present in B horizon, like iron, aluminium oxide, calcium carbonate. These minerals are present in B horizon. B horizon is called subsoil. Due to leaching of minerals from A horizon, these minerals reaches the B horizon. So the minerals present in the B horizon, you underline children, it is iron, aluminium oxide and calcium carbonate. These things are present, and clay is also present in this layer, B horizon, and all these things which are coming from the A horizon, like minerals, is present in the B horizon. It is called subsoil. So top layer is organic material, next layer is topsoil. After topsoil you see B horizon, that is subsoil. Next layer you can see in the diagram, look at the diagram, it is weathered or decomposed rocks. This C horizon is beneath the B horizon and it is above the R horizon. Okay children? So this C horizon is weathered or decomposed rock. It consists of broken up bedrock, and plant roots do not penetrate to this layer. Plant roots are up to horizon B. Okay, and in C horizon, plant roots do not penetrate, and very little organic material is found in this layer. And next layer is R horizon, where unweathered parent rocks are present. This consists of unweathered rock layer that is beneath all the other layers. So I sum up once again, children. You have read what is soil profile, what is soil horizon, what is soil horizon. When you look at the dug out soil from a pit or from any construction place, you see the soil is arranged in different layers. How can you say that they are arranged in different layers? You will see the color is different, texture is different, and the composition and depth of the soil is different. And the arrangement of different layers of the soil is called soil profile. About different layers, you can see first layer, that is organic material. So the first layer is O layer, means this layer is rich in litter and it is also rich in humus. So it stands for O layer. O means organic material. Just below O layer, look at the diagram, you will see it is A horizon. It is also called topsoil, and it is dark in color due to presence of humus and minerals. And next to this, in A horizon, the leaching process takes place. You can underline, children, leaching is very important process. Leaching is the process of mixing up of minerals with water, and then it drips and reaches the next layer. So you will see that minerals are leaching to the next layer. Next layer is called subsoil. It is also known as B horizon. Below the A horizon and above the C horizon, B horizon is present. In this layer also you will see that the roots of the plants are present. In this layer, minerals are also present due to leaching of minerals in A horizon. Which minerals are present in B horizon? It is iron, aluminium oxide and calcium carbonate. These minerals are present, and this layer, in this layer also the roots of the plants are there. Next to B horizon you will see it is C horizon. It is below the B horizon and above the R horizon. This C horizon consists of broken up bedrock. In this layer, no organic material is present. Humus is not present. And the last layer of the soil is called R horizon. And this R horizon consists of unweathered rock particles. Okay, unweathered rock particles are present and it is solid rock. So you have seen different layers of the soil known as horizon. and what is the property of each layer, that you should underline. Minerals are present in which layer, roots of the plants can penetrate up to which layer, all these things you have to revise. Okay children, now you will read property of soil next day. All of you will revise all these topics. Thank you.